All right, so my wife, after I've been showing her my Craticus inventions, she said, "What are you gonna do with all them things?" So last night, while the elections were running, she was in there watching that and giving me reports on the takebacks that we took. Hopefully, our nation will get back on track. It's just so crazy. Anyway, so I came out here and I took my jig fixtures and I mounted two of them here for a horizontal board. So if I wanted to save or work on a board like right here, it would put it right there and clamp it on onto there. And I have my table down um, because it's a pump table. We just pump it up, so get it up a little higher. And I really like the advantage of being able to take this and bring it up to the height that I'm working on, or down to where it's comfortable. And it's just these are some Grizzly tables I got on sale because the tires are rotting off them. They want to get rid of them, and the rubbers come off the feet, but it has locking casters, but they're swivels. They don't do it, so I've got it up on a mat and got a little wedge down there to keep it from moving. But anyway, I took this one here and put it on some hooks so that I can take this and mount this up here with clamps, and then plug it into my adapter. And then when I'm done, I can just put it back down on them two little clamps there. Of course, it's always fun to do it. So anyway, that's out of the way. It doesn't interfere with the table. So that's that way. Then here is the valve that controls everything. Lift that up. That's made out of walnut and maple scraps and a little plywood. That has your inches of mercury gauge. So important if you're doing back vacuum. This tells you if you got leaks. It tells you if you got a good connection. It tells you so much. So get one of them. They're like $11, $12 on Amazon. Well worth it. You buy them from locally, they get kind of expensive, but anyway. So that's on a gravity slide down, so it comes in at an angle and it just slides there, so it won't come off there. You can also plug this in to right there, and then that also learn the difference between the Shark Bite fittings, push connect, and the cheaper Watts ones. These don't come off and on near as easy as the Shark Bites. So I just noticed that. I think they're called an Aqua Lock, but the Shark Bites are twice as high, but rightfully so. They work a lot better. And so I put a setup here so that I can take a board like right here, clamp it here at about any height, and it'll hold it vertically. And when I say it holds it holds it. I took that old waterbed board, which is a 2x10. It's about 6 foot long, maybe not quite. It's pretty heavy, and I was able to attach it to this and leave it hanging out here about 5 feet with 2 feet, and it held it. And so anyway, the pods are working good. And what I did is I ended up just not using the valve on it. I bought extra valves, but I really don't need them because I have the valve here on this unit right here. So I can just, when I'm up, I can turn it off like that and, shut the vacuum off to it. So that works good. And everything's on my lanyard. My lanyard goes on my neck. It's a piece of masking tape that's holding it together, one layer. So if I give it a jerk, it'll snap the cord off me and it won't hang me. But anyway, that's got glue all over it, so that's why it looks so nasty. But anyway, this is like a $18 deal. It came with 3 remote control modules. One runs my dust collection, one runs my shop vac, and one runs the vacuum. And that's all working real good. And my vacuum's mounted over there on the wall. My dust collector's up there on the wall back there. And then my shop vac is in that silencer box with the dust deputy back over there in the corner. And if you're not using a hose reel, I'm watching these guys with all this slack stuff. That's the best. That's one of the best inventions, along with the dust deputy, is the hose reel, and that comes from Fast Cap. I don't think you can build it cheaper than they sell it to you for. So anyway, cool stuff. I was playing with this last night and works out real well. These two are mounted up pretty much permanently. I put screws in from the backside, so they should do that. I'll just tuck the cords back into the boxes when I'm done using them, so they're not in my way all the time. And you know, up and down, like I say, the table goes up quite a bit more. And let's just go ahead and go on up. So I use these boxes. There's another one over there to put totes in the back of my Ford truck. And you know, you can take a pretty good sized box, and it'll take it from down here and raise it all the way up. So anyway, that's my table setup, and I can use 6 pods, no problem. It holds them all down. It's a little inconvenient trying to get them all to seal up, but if you had just one piece of plywood, it wouldn't make a deal. So I'm also working on pods for the CNC machine. This is a little pod about the same size as the red ones, but this is milled out a piece of PVC. It's just a siding from a piece of siding board like this right here. It's got the grain on it. This one I milled both sides nice and smooth, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't make any difference to me. This side's smooth. So you can get this stuff. It's fairly expensive, you know, but it's cheaper than buying a big old board of that PVC that's like, you know, or the HDPT or whatever. So that, I did keep my hose where all my fittings are set there. I can take this piece right here and set it right over here, and it sits there, and then plug my piece in so I have controls over the vacuum of that. And when I'm done with it, slide it back in there. Working good. I did plane some of my plaques. These were pre-finished, and we had a regatta that got washed out, and so I've been putting locating pins on here, and they're basically, some of these little pins, got them at Harbor Freight, or not Harbor Freight, but the Hobby Lobby. And so I can put locating pins in there when it's up there. I have 2 mounting screws where I can mount it up there on the table. And my table is a piece of MDF, piece of particle board, and then a waste board, which is a 1/4-inch plywood. I tag it down with a 23 gauge pin nailer, and that keeps it placed. And I can just pop it up with a screwdriver right here and go up in there. And that's kind of what some of my stuff looks like. I probably over a couple hundred projects and things, and I do both sides, so I can clean up both sides. After it gets tore up to a point where it's not functioning anymore, then I just pop it off of there and pop a new one on. And so that's kind of what I'm doing with that. The filter is working good over there on the Harbor Freight filter. I'll put that on a French cleat, and also put a stopper board on my French cleats. If you don't put a stopper board up in there, you'll give them a bump and have to pick that stuff up 3 or 4 times. So put your stopper board so that it can't raise up. It's, you know, just tack it with a screw or put something in there. But anyway, this is my Harbor Freight. This is a filter, and it's worked good. My problem I had before is I didn't have it stuffed with t-shirt. I had about this much opening, so it was loosened up. So I just took off some more t-shirt, crammed that thing full, and give it a, you know, just a good cram in there. And of course there's a Scotch-Brite on the bottom and the top as like a ring, and then t-shirt in the middle. So that's working good. This thing right here, it's PLA. I 3D printed that. That's on the web, Thingiverse, and it came off twice. The threads came off on me, and so I basically just took some of this DAP. If you're not using any of this DAP, you got to get it online, but I love it. 30 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then it's 30 minutes ready to go. So this Rapid Fuse DAP, I got to order some more. I have about 5-6 bottles of it, and it's good stuff. And it responds well to the P210 activator as well. So anyway, that's some tips that are coming up. There's my cord, my nylon, or poly cord that goes over and goes up. My shop is getting cluttered. I need to clean some of this out. I do Royal Ranger Ministry, so that's a hawk and knife target. I'm donating my drill press to my son-in-law. There's my son's FCF stuff. I need to get it out of there. A little shot of my shop. Clamps, that. My apron, I need to wear that more. And this is, I only use that for long boards so much. I've got a crosscut sled on that table saw, and I really prefer to use that more so. Developed the Sharpies. I'm waiting on parts for this. I mashed the bearings on this on my second try. So they said they were going to send me some parts, but it's been 2 weeks, and I'm going to have to call them again. Apparently they got lost somewhere, but that fits down inside there. And that also made these little guys right here. This is a Sharpie holder. One's for a fine point, ultra fine, and that fits that one. This one is for a mini, and then a regular Sharpie, and the points, and these fit in a CNC machine. And they have an earplug inside there that gives them spring action. So those work out real well. So I kind of developed them a little bit. Also Lowe's, their Cobalt brand calipers gave up the ghost. So I ended up throwing them away. And I got a Johnston caliper. And it seems to be doing just fine. So a few little upgrades on the old shop. Added the drill press here and talked about that. The depth stop, a lot of people aren't using that, but that depth stop right here is a lot better than using this guy right back here and cranking the nuts up and down. That's just so much better. And you sit in your depth stop. I did add this Wixley Zero thing. It's kind of unique. If I want to get real precise with the, going up and down, I can do that. Most of the time I'm just not using that, but I haven't got really the time to put it to use yet. So we'll try that. But I installed that this last week and used these a bunch around the drill press. Put my cradle up on top of there just because I don't have a lot of room. And going good. I need to get the sheet of stuff out of here and make some room. Put my fan up back up in the attic and get some of my stuff off the floor because I'm getting a little crowded in here, that's for sure. And I just keep going up higher and higher to the ceiling with stuff. I did go with a Hercules battery operated saw because I bought their vacuum and I had the extra, so I thought it'd be easier than dragging my Porta cable out with a cord and fighting the cord. And so I'll do that and use that. So I haven't really had much chance to use that just yet. So on the CNC part of it, this neoprene cord, get that off Amazon or Granger. And they're the only two sources I found for it. Amazon's a lot cheaper, and that's basically just a EPDM rubber, and it's a cast meow for those CNC jigs. It's a 1/4 inch. And then if you do those pods and put it in the center, get some of this 1/2 inch foam, Frost King. Works real good. That thing just plugs up those vacuum pumps, or it's like a valve on them, so you can plug them, put them in these little holes right here. Found that works real good for sealing up. So if you don't, you get a vacuum leak there. And then if you want a little plug for down inside it, you can use a little 1/4 inch, or you could probably cut a piece of that off. And if you're only going to use one of these, you can stick a little one in there and it seals up real well. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing, and been having a ball. I need to get my stuff resituated and clean up some stuff. That's my jigs back up in there, and my canteen jigs. I'm thinking about taking some of them and vacuumizing them with some pods. Sometimes when I do those things, I make like 20 of them at a time, and it would be a lot easier to have that ability to use the vacuum pods to work on it. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at there. I haven't done any resawing for a while, so the old bandsaw just sitting over there minding its own business. That's about all my updates. Oh, there's quite a few more in there. They're just hidden. And yeah, made a ship's ladder out of some white oak off the property. Did quite a few projects the last couple months. Enjoyed doing that. I bought some of this mat for the drag knife. It's a self-repairing mat, which we'll see how that works. And then I bought some of these from Harbor Freight, thinking that I might make some stuff out of it. And they're just a, you know, cookie, just a cutting board. So looking for inexpensive ways of making material. We'll say the box keeps my shop clean. You go to milling that PVC and it gets all over everywhere, just like MDF. And with the box, I drop that thing down and the box shows down in there. Do need to clean my window because it's getting pretty dirty. But yeah, I do this just for the sake of myself, just to think about what I'm doing. Did order these off of the web. They're 1/8 inch end mill. They're extended, so they can cut through 3/4 inch material up to 1 inch, really, as long as you're doing 1/8 at a time. There's one chucked up in there. Those are working pretty good. I did get some stuff from what is it? Garrett Crowther and got some stuff from him from some of the mini mills, and got some smaller end mills with the collet. So I'll probably put them to use. I just haven't had to do that kind of detail just yet. So I just got them in and haven't done it. These have the longer shank on them as well, plus the collet is inside there. Like here's the collet's on that one right there. So that was kind of hard to find, but I'm glad that IDC Woodcraft, appreciate him and all that he does. A lot of guys on YouTube, really enjoy watching it. The brass screws, I try and put them in my fixtures when I'm running something or setting something up, because every now and then I get a snafu and bam, there she runs right into wherever my screws are. So bits being $20, $30 a piece, $40 a piece. Try and keep that from happening. This is all plastic except for a brass screw in here and a brass screw in there. And I think my sharp fittings inside there may have a little bit of some stainless steel in there. But other than that, I try and eliminate all of my parts. And locating pins are a good idea. I don't know how practical they'll be, but they do allow alignment. And you know, you can take them things and set the thing up, put it on your block, hit your vacuum pump, and it'll suck it down, and away you go. So that's kind of my thought. Thanks for watching.